League fans, and we are back for a new year. We just an hour ago turned the station back on again, rugbyleague.com. Thanks for joining us and thanks for hanging in there during the close season. And we will be running from Thursday to Sunday night UK time now this year. There'll be another format for the other half of the week, but I won't spoil that surprise. I think the audience will be pretty different anyway. But now, it's all happening today. Why do we choose today? You know why we chose today. By the way, my name's Steve Mascott. It's because it's the first day of Super League. And after this show, I'll be hopping in the car and driving 4.5 hours up the road to York, where York will make their bow in the elite competition, taking on the treble winners from last year, Hull KR. And of course, in a week's time, we've got the World Club Challenge. Brisbane Broncos are in town, and I went out to the airport, and we'll have a little grab at the end of this intro section from Michael Maguire, the coach of the Broncos. Had a brief chat to him at the airport. He hasn't done any media since Payne Haas's decision, but he wasn't in a position or not willing to discuss that the other night. Of course, there's been a little bit of movement in that area since the Broncos landed. Maybe we'll go with some. We normally start the show with some birthdays. Maybe we'll go with some birthdays. So then we'll go with some news, and then we'll hear from Michael Maguire. Coming up in the show, we've got the Mole, Tony Adams, will be talking to us. There is a match that's just kicked off in the NRL preseason. It's the Dolphins and the Titans at KO Stadium. So I'm also going to be bringing you score updates from that game during this hour. So make sure you stay tuned. And then we're going to have Joe Burgess, the most colourful, maybe in a way controversial. Retweeting things on Twitter is controversial. Player in Super League, Joe Burgess, former South Sydney and Roosters player who will be in the World Club Challenge next week. I had a chat to him, and it hasn't aired anywhere, or none of the quotes have appeared anywhere. So we're going to also bring you that interview with Joe Burgess during this hour. So rugby league birthdays, and let's go down the list and tell you who is celebrating today. Brian Carlson he died in 1933. So, but he was obviously a very highly decorated player for Australia. He represented. He's from the Coalfields. Also played for Southern Division. He played for North Sydney, but he did represent Australia from the bush. Brian Carlson. So his family and descendants, happy birthday to Brian Carlson. Bill Hamilton, a very famous Norths player who also represented Manly, the arch enemy. He is with us. He's 81 today. Happy birthday to Bill Hamilton, the big bear. Greg Carberry, brother of Michael, who played for Illawarra and also Cronulla. He's 60 today, the big 6-0. I remember being around Greg Carberry when he was at the Steelers and being in nightclubs with him and all that sort of stuff a long time ago. 60, he's 60, I'm 57 now. Phil Bergman, who I've done some commentary with, the New Zealander who played for Paris Saint-Germain. He's 55 today, lives down in the south of New Zealand, as I recall. I think he lives around the Wellington area. Russell Richardson, the Australian Test centre, who represented memorably Cronulla in the Super League year, but also played for Souths and Newcastle. 49 today. Brett Hodgson, we've got some big names. New South Wales fullback, nice guy. Spent a bit of time in the UK as well with Huddersfield and Warrington. He's 48 today. Wade McKinnon, former Warriors, West Tigers, Hull FC player, 45 today. Let's speed this up a bit. Julian Tuxegas, the French international, who also played for UTC, 42 today. And as we scan down, let's see if there's any others. We'll move on. We'll move on to the news, and the big news with regard to the Broncos is that Payne Haas, the Broncos, have waived the 10-day cooling off period, which means that he's definitely joining South Sydney for 3 years starting 2027. There's quite a few injuries heading into round one of Super League, and the Man of Steel will not be seen in action. He has, I believe, a knee injury, so he will not be playing against Lee tomorrow night. Another fella, Jaden Nikorima, he has hurt himself in training, and he won't be playing at Hull for Bradford. He is out, and there's a few others as well. Adam Clune has got a calf injury, won't be playing for Huddersfield. So yes, there's quite a few injuries heading into round one of Super League. Okay, let's move on. After the break, we'll give you a bit of a score update from KO Stadium, where it is the Dolphins up against the Titans. And then we're going to hear from the Mole, Tony Adams. And then we're going to have another score update. And then we're going to start off with that Joe Burgess interview. But it's awesome that we're back on air. Want to welcome you back. And here's Michael Maguire from Heathrow just a couple of days ago.
Well, I'll probably try and utilise a little bit of that experience for sure. I was able to travel over here with a few of the Kiwi teams too, so I spent a bit of time over here travelling, and that's a part of touring, is that the bonds that you build away from the field, but they spend a lot of time on the field, and they've had a really good pre-season, so it's a really important game. Like it's not only is it it's a great opportunity to get a trophy along the way, and they can put their name up in the loss. I think it's pretty even on teams winning and losing this one between the Australians and England, and I also know how much it means to the people over here, this game. So that adds to the understanding of what the game means, and I think for our players in years to come to be able to look back and know that they've achieved this game is a really important part too.
Welcome back. If you're listening to the Breakfast Show, good morning, League fans. And as I said, we've got Tony the Mole Adams here. Now, Tony, let's go straight into your latest column. And the first item about Jake Friend, the former Roosters hooker. What's happening there?
Yes, Steve. Well, as people down under will know, Jake Friend is involved in a dispute, shall we say, with his partner. Police have attempted to serve an AVO on her behalf. Things have got a little bit ugly. He's got to appear in court again soon. And he, since retirement from head injuries, has had a pretty important role at the Roosters as head coach of the Roosters Academy and Pathways program. But as of the last few days, the Roosters have stood him down. They haven't said anything officially, but I've been told by people in senior positions at the club that Jake Friend is on gardening leave. The court case is coming up next few weeks, but up until then, he won't be doing any work for the Roosters.
Interesting. And your second item is about Daly Cherry Evans returning to Manly, and it was to see a good mutual friend of ours.
Yeah, that's right. A fellow called Wayne Cousins, very popular, used to be a journo, now was media manager at Manly up until recently. He suffered a horrific disease that I can't even pronounce, but he was basically in hospital for almost a year. He's still pretty frail, getting around on a walking stick, but it was really rugby league at its best at Manly Leagues Club the other night. We had players, officials, fans, all rallying behind Wayne. Would have been over 200 people there, and a few Manly players, but more interestingly, one former Manly player in Daly Cherry Evans, and very warmly greeted by his former teammates, by the fans. So it was a massive shock that he left last year, but clearly things have settled down, and it'll be very interesting to see when he gets on with life at the Roosters.
And a game I went to at the weekend on Saturday, I ended up getting stranded up in Liverpool by trains, but it was Leeds getting ready to go to Vegas with you, Tony, playing Widnes in the Challenge Cup. And Ethan O'Neill actually did a great post he plays for Leeds now, formerly at Lee, of him coming out of the tunnel, and then he juxtaposed it with his dad, Julian, coming out of the same tunnel about 20 years ago when Julian was playing for Widnes. So he's made a career over here, Ethan. He changed clubs. He was filling in at 5'8" on the weekend. I don't think he'll be there in Vegas, but it's a good story, isn't it? That his Julian O'Neill's son's come over to this part of the world and etched out a career.
Yeah, and it was a lovely post, as you say, Steve. And as Julian O'Neill's running onto the field, he's holding the hands of two little boys, and I can only assume one of them is Ethan. So it's quite the coincidence that at the same ground, same tunnel at Widnes. And he had two stints there, Julian, according to Wikipedia, one in 1992, one in 2003. So two stints 11 years apart, rather unusual. But they say Ethan goes all right. He's a former Queensland under-16 back rower. He had time at the Roosters last year. He was playing for the Burleigh Bears in the Queensland Cup. He's 26 years old and a solid start to his Leeds career, from what I hear.
If you followed us from last year and the year before, you'll know we like to be the first place that you hear a name of a good young player. Just put my glasses on here. Bailey Maroriki Butler. Bailey Maroriki Butler. Who's he?
I'm glad you said it, Steve. You're a better man than me. He's a young fellow at the Warriors, a 16-year-old halfback. Was chased by several Aussie clubs. There's a real need for quality halfbacks for the long term. And so he was in hot demand, but he's decided to stay in New Zealand. Will probably play in the Harold Matthews Cup this season and work his way through the grades. So one to think about in the future. Bailey, we'll call him Bailey.
Short and sweet, Tony. That's the way I like it. We'll talk to you again soon, and thanks for joining us. And I thank you on behalf of the listeners of Good Morning League fans as well.
And we're back. We're at Seal Group Craven Park on another beautiful summer's day. And I got Joe Burgess here, Joe. I told you, I warned you, I'm really interested in Vegas and also the World Club Challenge. It's going to be one of the biggest weeks or 2 weeks of your career, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big month ahead. Into a big game against Brisbane, and then we're jetting off 2 days later to Vegas. So it's exciting times. It's all new. I've been lucky enough to experience the World Cup Challenge a few times, but World Cup Challenge into flying to Vegas the week after, it's going to happen so fast, so I'm just going to embrace every minute.
It's great that the club wanted to play both games, isn't it? Because last year I don't think Penrith wanted to play both. They didn't want to play Vegas and the World Club Challenge, so it wasn't held. So the fact the Broncos are keen to come here and the clubs wanted the game on, the players must have been happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a shame when no teams really want to play it, because it is a good spectacle. I know it can cock up the season a bit further down, but it is a good spectacle. And I know Mike Maguire just wants to win everything he can, so it's going to be more than a challenge. It's going to be good though.
How do you feel about playing across at the other place, the MKM?
It would have been good if we could play it here, but the pitch is probably like a farmer's field at the minute. It looks great, but I think when you get on there, it's a bit boggy. And we can obviously, on the flip side, the pitch will be better at MKM, and we'll get more supporters in there, and I imagine it'll be absolutely bouncing.
Tell us about your memories of the World Club Challenge. What's your kind of favourite memories, and what are maybe ones you don't like? When you cast your mind back to the ones you played in?
The last one I played in was against Cronulla, and that was a good one. We got the win on that one. But my favourite one was, even though we lost, was probably against the Roosters. When it was like my third or fourth first team game against Roosters, and I think I was like 19, and I'm lining up against like Sonny Bill and Sean Kennedy. I was like, oh, what is going on? Over in Sydney as well. So that was such a surreal experience. So. I'm 1 from 2 wins, so let's get a bit better ratio on 2 from 3.
What is it about the game that it can go either way, regardless of whatever you think the relative strengths of the two comps are in the year before? It really is a lottery, isn't it? Every time it's played, the World Club Challenge. There's a lot of uncertainties, isn't there, with the travel, and I guess also the teams are quite new. There's new recruits on both sides. What is it that's different from another game?
Silverware. I think it's. I know it's the team slightly changed a few months later, obviously after the GF, but we all share the same thing, and that's wanting to win as much as we can. And we're all lucky enough this time to get that opportunity so early in the season. So it'll be a great experience for everybody, especially the ones who haven't experienced it. It'll be a step up in terms of competition wise and challenge wise, because it's the two best teams in both comps. So yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said about travel and whatnot, but you don't start thinking them things. We can't start thinking, oh, we've got an upper hand because they're travelling, because it's no upper hand. They're all such good athletes and good professionals that they'll be raring to go themselves. What
about Las Vegas? Have you been before in your spare time, or have you ever been?
I have, yeah. I've been once. I got to go on my friend's stag do. I imagine this trip will be slightly different than what I went on, but it's such a crazy place. I mean, when I went a few years ago, all the Formula One set was set up, so it was already weird as it is, and it was a bit of hard to get around. But yeah, it'll be good to get over there. You train at some good facilities all week, see some familiar faces, because I believe there's quite a few Hull fans going over, and it's can't appreciate that enough. Them making the travel over. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it'll be quite a stag do.
How I saw Jake Connor said the other day that when he went out with Hull, but not to Vegas. I've never heard anyone compare Wollongong to Las Vegas before, but he said that trip, because it went so badly, it kind of ruined their season. I just want, is it possible that an overseas trip early in the season, if it goes really badly, can interfere with the rest of the year if you play poorly or you recover poorly? Is it a potential banana skin?
No. It's like in a game. If something goes wrong in a game, we just say next job, and that's what it'll be this time. If it doesn't go our way, it'll be get back, next job.
Mm-hmm. And for readers and listeners in Australia who obviously remember you at the Roosters and the Rabbitohs, how do you look back on that stint now? If your friends ask you now, oh, you went out and played in Australia, what was it like? What do you tell them?
Just an unreal experience. I was still, before I went out there, I was living with my mum and dad, so just getting that bit of freedom and just living on my own was an experience on its own. But then to play in that league for, I think I played 10 or 11 times between both teams. It was great. Like, I've watched NRL as a kid, and then like a few years later, I'm up against them all up at the side of them. It was crazy, and I recommend anyone who gets that opportunity, gets an offer, you got to take it. And even man was only a short stint, I still cherish some good memories.
Would you like to have stayed?
I think everything happens for. I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. Wigan coming for me, so that was the next step, sort of thing. If a team would have come for me in between from now and then, I'd have probably gone back, because I just love the place, and even Aussies are all right, I suppose. Yeah, it was just a good experience. Yeah.
And since you come back, I mean, obviously last year, there's only one way from winning the treble. There isn't. You could win 4 this year, but I mean, it's so much pressure, isn't there? And I guess Wigan have experienced that, coming off these enormously successful seasons and trying to back it up. And what is the mentality sort of this pre-season here compared to when you're at Wigan and they're in a similar situation where they climbed Mount Everest and they had to face with climbing it again?
I think the what's the word? The chance of actually making proper history. I know we made history for the club last year, but making history in rugby league I don't think anyone's ever gone back-to-back trebles, so I think we got that. We had the likes of like Jared and Mickey Mack to give us that extra step over the line. Obviously in 2024 we lost in the grand final, and then 2025 Mickey Mack and Jared just give us that extra step to get there. So now we've got the belief. We've got the belief this year that it can happen. We work hard for each other, and it can and it will happen. But like I said, the potential of back-to-back trebles is dangling there for us, and we're going to have to take it.
And there's a fourth trophy this year because the World Club is on this year, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good 4. And since you come back, like you've kind of developed into a bit of a personality. Has that happened by design, or is it just confounded you as much as anyone else?
I just think that when you get interviewed and asked questions and whatnot, sometimes it can be a bit robotic.
Yeah.
And I just thought I might as well just be myself at half the time. So yeah, I'm just being myself really. I'm just having a crack, and I can't take too many things serious because it's just not how I am. So yeah, whenever I can crack a joke or wind somebody up, I'll do it.
So the nose thing with the try, did you get a lot of pushback from that?
Oh, I got so much shit for it. It was so much shit, but it was all worth it. I think even Warrington fans can laugh about it now. It's gone past it, but yeah.
Did you score that try?
I definitely got the ball down.
Yeah. And what about when you come in and the club is unhappy with a social media post or something? How does that play out? Like, is it just a quiet word, or is it, you know what I mean? Because we read about it, we hear about it, and Willie talks about it a little bit. So what's it like from your perspective?
Yeah, it's a slap on the wrist, and then as long as there's no proper damage done, you just crack on. It's quite annoying how you can't express your opinion at times because, well, as you see, it can stir some shit sort of thing. So it is annoying how you can't say what you want because we can't. Because some people are a bit touchy, and some people can't accept just people's opinions. And I don't mean I'm always right. No one's always right. But it's just an opinion, and then you listen to other people's opinions and you converse and then agree on something. But
Yeah. This is only a last serious question. Do your opinions evolve in response to the feedback?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, if there's a pushback on something, or someone says you shouldn't have said that about the try, it sets a bad example for referees and respect for referees. Do you think, okay, should I have or shouldn't I have? And then you form an opinion whether you should have or not, or do you just forget about it? You know, like.
Oh yeah, I'll have a think about it. Whether I should have done it.
Or a social media post.
Yeah, I'll have a think about it. But then I normally just think, sack it. It's just an opinion. It's not like I'm going to get anybody or get myself into trouble. It's just an opinion. Like, if I started being abusive or anything like that, well, obviously that's a whole different thing. If you're bullying or anything like that, but if it's just an opinion, get on with it and stop being so soft.